Dish won't connect. Speeds crawl at night. Wi-Fi dies in the back bedroom. Can't host a game server. Sound familiar? These are the 10 most common Starlink problems owners actually run into, and every single one of them has a real fix. No reinstalling from scratch, no guessing. Let's solve all 10 in under 10 minutes. I'm pairing these 10 problems into 5 quick categories: connectivity basics, speed issues, Wi-Fi coverage, advanced networking, and account and power problems. Grab your phone with the Starlink app open if you want to follow along on your own setup. Let's fix these fast. Problem 1. The dish shows offline or won't connect at all. Before anything else, open the Starlink app and check the obstruction and outage history. 9 times out of 10 this comes down to either a temporary outage on Starlink's end, or the router simply needing a power cycle. Unplug it for about 10 seconds and plug it back in. Problem 2. You're connected, but speeds are inconsistent even though your sky view looks clear. Run the app's built-in obstruction check tool, which tracks the dish's view over a full day, not just right now. A tree that doesn't block the view at noon can absolutely block it during a lower satellite pass in the evening. The fix is either trimming the obstruction or raising the mount height so the dish clears it entirely. Problem 3. Speeds noticeably drop in the evening. This is network congestion, not a hardware fault. Starlink satellite cells serve fixed capacity, and usage peaks in the evening in every region, same as traditional home internet at rush hour. There's no on-off fix, but if it's consistently bad, check whether a higher priority data plan is available in your area, since some tiers get priority routing during congestion. Problem 4. High ping makes online gaming frustrating. First, know the baseline. Starlink's latency typically runs in the 25 to 60 millisecond range under normal conditions, which is genuinely competitive for a satellite service but still higher than fiber. What you can control is the Wi-Fi hop, connecting your gaming device directly via Ethernet, using the official Ethernet adapter, removes the extra latency and occasional packet loss that Wi-Fi adds on top of the satellite connection itself. Problem 5. Wi-Fi barely reaches the far side of the house. The stock Starlink router covers a solid single-family home, but multiple floors, thick walls, or a detached space will create dead zones. The real fix is a compatible mesh Wi-Fi add-on placed roughly halfway between the router and the dead zone, not a cheap signal repeater which just rebroadcasts an already weak signal at half speed. Problem 6. You need a wired Ethernet connection, but there's no port for it. Here's the nuance. If you have the newer Gen 3 router, paired with the standard kickstand dish, you actually already have 2 built-in Ethernet ports on the back, no extra purchase needed. But if you're on the older Gen 2 actuated kit, it's Wi-Fi only out of the box, and you'll need the official Starlink Ethernet adapter to get a wired port. Problem 7. You're trying to host a game server or forward a port, and it just won't work. This is because most residential Starlink connections sit behind CGNAT, carrier-grade network address translation, so you don't get a dedicated public IP by default. Starlink's automated public IP toggle is generally restricted to priority, mobile priority, and business plans, so standard residential users can't just switch it on. The practical workaround: use a free third-party tunneling tool like Tailscale or Cloudflare Tunnels, or a VPN service built for this, to bypass CGNAT entirely without needing a plan upgrade. Problem 8. The router randomly disconnects or reboots on its own. Before assuming it's faulty hardware, check 2 things. The power cable connection at both ends, since a loose connection causes exactly the symptom, and whether the router firmware is up to date, which usually updates automatically but can occasionally stall. If both check out and it keeps happening, that's when it's worth contacting support about a possible hardware fault. Problem 9. Confusion around pausing, switching, or moving your plan. This is all handled directly in the Starlink account portal or app, not by contacting support first. Roam and portability plans can typically be paused month to month, and moving a fixed residential plan to a new address just requires updating your service location before relocating the dish, since coverage and pricing vary by location. Problem 10. The whole system goes down during a power outage. This isn't a Starlink problem specifically. The dish and router simply need their own power to run, the same as any other device in your house. The fix is a small UPS or portable power station rated for at least 100 to 150 watts of continuous draw, which keeps you online through outages that might otherwise take down a wired connection anyway. So there they are, all 10 problems solved. Power cycle and check for outages. Check obstructions across a full day, not just right now. Understand that evening slowdowns are congestion, not a fault. Go wired for gaming to cut out Wi-Fi latency. Add a real mesh extender for dead zones. Know whether you're on Gen 3 with built-in Ethernet ports or Gen 2 which needs the official adapter. Understand CGNAT, and use a tunneling tool or VPN if you're on a residential plan and need to host something. Check power and firmware before assuming the router is broken. Manage your plan directly in the app, and keep a small power backup for outages. Almost none of these need a support ticket. Most are a 5-minute fix once you know what's actually causing it. If this fixed your issue, hit like. It helps more Starlink owners find real fixes instead of digging through forum threads. Subscribe if you haven't already, because next week I'm covering 7 ways to make your Starlink faster right now. Real settings and setup changes, not gimmicks. Drop a comment. Which of these 10 was your problem? Or is there one I didn't cover? I read every comment, and I'll pull the most common ones for a follow-up video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.